So I might have been a little wrong when I was kind of ranting about the newest changes coming up for the unknown. I was mainly ranting about not being able to feather your power when you're at a pallet or window, but it seemingly seems, that sounds stupid, that you are still able to do so. So my two theories are either this is super minimal change and it actually doesn't change really anything, or the nerf did not go how it was supposed to in the PTB and is not working as intended. So if that's the case, I'm gonna be pretty pissed because Vanishing Box, I'm not gonna say is dead, but you're gonna have to run one of these other add-ons that kind of counteract the hallucination spawn time, like slash backpack, front page article, or footprint cast. In my opinion, you should still change it out for discarded milk carton, change the rarities, get rid of hallucination spawn time, but I imagine they're not gonna do that because it's behavior. So instead, I would say maybe 40 to 50% increase in hallucination spawn time, just half it, because when you're using Vanishing Box, yes, whenever a generator gets done, you're getting the goops on other survivors, so in theory it is bringing down the hallucination spawn time, but the 80% was very noticeable to where I was pretty much barely getting any hallucination spawns even to be able to be used. And obviously, since they're super easy to counteract, all a survivor has to do is go up to them and it's gone, and now I have to wait another, say, minute or 45 seconds, whatever, of a hallucination spawn time. It's unfortunate. I think it should just be slashed in half if you're gonna keep it how it is. I just don't like it. Base kit blurry photo is not good, I'll be honest. Now, unfortunately, because it's PTB, a lot of people are gonna be DCing at any minor inconvenience, or if they just don't want to play against the unknown, which I guess is a minor inconvenience. But a lot of times when you're supposed to get the hits, even with, obviously old blurry photo was super good. That's why it was probably the number one picked add-on for him. Whenever you're at a loop, you have a strategical hallucination placed at that same one with blurry photo base kit, you're not getting the hits, even if it's like perfectly timed and perfectly placed, and you perfectly at the exact moment you go to hallucination, you should be getting a hit, and you're not, which can inevitably lose you a game. Which I think I'll be running the new blurry photo, which is now 50% full movement speed whenever you're coming out of a hallucination. Now the base kit is now 1.4 seconds, which is 1.7 in my opinion. Like, first I should say, I don't know the exact math per se when it comes to how much, if the base recovery speed out of a teleport's 1.7, what the 50% of blurry photo was doing to counteract that 1.7 to bring it down to 1 second or 1.2, whatever. I don't like math, I'm not good at math, so I don't know that exactly, but I think that it should be, instead of, base kit blurry photo being 0.3 seconds slower, I think whatever blurry photo would be at 35%, and then reworking blurry photo as an add-on entirely, maybe 30%. If I'm saying what it would be like it already, like it is for the PTB, I could very well be doing that. I'm not good at math, so overstepping my words and saying the same thing that's already being done. So if that's the case, let me know down below. But I just not a fan of blurry photos, still more than likely gonna be needing to be used. The good thing about Soma Family Photo, whenever Singularity got it base kit, is it felt good and the add-on itself got a rework. So I think they should buff the base kit in general and then rework this. I don't know what exactly, maybe like projectile shooting speed, and maybe change to a yellow. I think you might be able to do some things like that. Maybe something else to do with your hallucination being like a dispel, to where like when a survivor's within 1 or 2 meters of a hallucination, their R is revealed for 1.5 seconds or something like that, something worth a brown. But I think you should buff base kit blurry photo and then just rework blurry photo entirely. So it's not gonna need to be ran, because to be honest, how I play the unknown, I put them in loops and then use blurry photo to my advantage. So I think that that's gonna be I think that should be changed. That's just kind of my thing. For that, I do like the new UVX airborne hit sound. Now I still think the hindered should be a little more, because if I'm hitting a survivor directly with my goop ball, I feel like I should be rewarded for it, even though you might not necessarily be going for it. But not only that, I think that it shouldn't go through survivors at all. I think it should explode on impact, and then you get rid of the hindered. So instead of being hindered and it goes through and you actually miss your goop, get rid of the hindered and then it just UVX immediately explodes. I think that would actually make him a lot better. It could be more impressive, but if that's not the case, maybe buff the hindered just a little bit, because it's kind of hard to get someone with a direct shot putting a goop in between the numbers and actually getting value out of the hindered status effect from it. And that's really my main thoughts on the unknown. He's still good. I don't think that's a question. I just think Vanishing Box is not worth running unless they do something with the hallucination spawn time, maybe just by, 40. But the thing is also is how are you gonna play? Because if you're gonna do this, then you could do some like deadlock and stuff like that, you know, some gen protecting, and then that way you don't even have to have high map mobility, and you can still get easy kind of easy hits on survivors. But I think it'd be worth running if the percentage was down, or you just change to a freaking purple, which would be the best thing to do in my opinion, because this should not be a purple. Discarded milk carton is so dumb in my opinion. And the only reason why I say that is because the bounce logic in the game, in the insta explode bounce or the insta explode logic in the game doesn't really line up, and you never know what you're gonna get. That I don't think it's really worth it. I think if it actually made sense every time and was easily replicable for each UVX that you do on the same wall or whatever, then I think this could potentially have value. But because it's super inconsistent, I don't think it does. I think the main thing that I'll continue to run will be OSS report and then new blurry photo. I don't see that changing in my opinion. How I play the unknown, you know, I might run where's it at, devices of undisclosed origin. Being able to put hallucination in a loop and then they have oblivious is also really good. Sketch attempt I actually do like, since I play him super chase heavy. I still think they're bad. I think blurry photo base kit's not good enough. You make it better and get rid of blurry photo in general, make it a different perk. I think vanishing box is too nerfed in my opinion. I really do think so. And I'm okay with all this if feathering at pallets is still a thing. That's something in my opinion is not worth getting rid of. So they did obviously reduce the time you can like delay your charge or whatever. So as long as you're doing it properly, you can still fake people out at pallets in Windows. So I think that is huge. So overall, I think he's still okay. I don't see him really moving anywhere. I think they saw vanishing box and blurry photo being picked pretty much every time. They're like, all right, we have to do something, instead of like logically thinking about it and making it better. I think that they just ended up doing what behavior always does, looks at analytics and statistics and goes from there. So still good. I'm just glad feathering is still a thing. Once he goes live, if feathering is not a thing, the blurry photo still stays the same, vanishing box doesn't get changed at all, it's going to be really tough. It just depends on how they changed feathering or edging, whatever you want to call it, if it's working as intended in the PTB. So I guess that really what it depends on. I might have overreacted a little bit with the rant, but depending on changes, it might still be absolutely spot on. It's a PTB, so things are open to change, so always remember that. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this rant. Not an aggressive rant, more about how I feel after playing several games in the PTB. Still good. I do like New Zanshin, but anyway, I'm out here, all right? Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you like Dead by Daylight. Leave a like if you like the unknown. I'm an unknown main. Yeah, and deuces.